one of the hottest up-and-coming DJs in the city.
Swamp Thing DJ.
DJ Swamp Thing.
Breaking ground.
And of course, keeping you in touch with the city. The always class. Tiffany. Yeah.
Breaking ground. Breaking ground. Breaking ground.
Hey, yo, Cap. What's good? What up, Nines? Bully, I see you.
I just like to see.
I'm feeling so blessed, baby. I'm feeling so blessed, baby. I'm feeling so blessed, baby. I'm feeling so blessed. God bless me, baby. God bless me, baby. God bless me lately. God bless me lately. God bless me, baby. God bless me, baby. God bless me lately. Oh, so blessed. So blessed, so blessed, so blessed, so blessed, so blessed. God bless me, baby.
Yo, Cap. What's good? What up, Nines? Bully, I see you. They say that gangsta shit don't exist no more. I say maybe that's because they ain't real. Ever thought about that?
Mobbing through the city, yeah, I'm stopping in the spot. If my money ain't a fool, boy, you're headed for the box. Aggressive about the paper, so that smiling shit can stop. Hit him with that shit bag, yeah, something like the locks. Survivor of the streets, the code is what I stuck to. If the money up, then know that I'm up too. I die if it's meant for me. Caution if you mention me, not just a rider on the beat. Check my history. I get it, I spend it, you need it, I got it. It all comes to profit. Your haters can stop it. I'm killing this project. My haters just pop shit, so tell them just watch it. Goddamn. Haters always close to me. I bag them like some groceries. Have respect approaching me. I keep it real like older G's. Speaker of the streets, I'm what the killers follow. Robbing for the paper, never beg and borrow. Today, I want my money for tomorrow. Yeah, I'm married to the money, baby. Meet me at the altar.
I hose up the smoke and I rolled up early. I've been blessed since day one. That makes my water holy. Always rolling with the same circle. Soon I'll be rolling with a rolling. The streets taught me well, nigga. Just like my parents. We make it hard for y'all to keep up. We ain't your average. Your defense is weak, cause we're causing hella damage. There go Nines with the ratchets again. Cap C moving weight like he owning a gym. My nigga Carnage. It's just body bagging again. We body bagging your men. The shotty blasting the bends. Real G's ain't gotta pretend. Where there's a start, there's an end. Motherfucker, I won't say this again. Nah. I'm feeling so blessed, baby. I'm feeling so blessed, baby. I'm feeling so blessed, baby. I'm feeling so blessed. I'm B-L-E-S-S-E-D, baby, and I'm rocking with God, even though that these streets raise me. I came from the bottom, been aiming straight for the top scope. Looking at these options, Ferrari, Porsches, and Lambos. Also from the corner, my name is tagged on that light post. I've been walking on death for so long, mastered the tightrope. Capital Entertainment, you know we brought that life, yo. Blessings on blessings, feeling like we just cashing out, yo. Yeah. God bless me, lady.
Capital Entertainment shit.
I just like this.
Legend on the beat.
Whoa. Whoa. Yeah.
Low mama thick, she can get this chick. Ass so fat, she know that she the shit. Low mama thick, she can get this chick. Ass so fat, she know that she the shit. Whoa, Kimo Sabe, big ballin' is my hobby. 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 Low mama thick, she know that she the shit. Ass sitting right, I know that pussy hit. Cash money in this bitch, number one stunner. Fly young boy, fucking niggas, baby mamas. Whoa, Kimo Sabe, big ballin' is my hobby. Beat me up, Scotty, I'm serving everybody. My niggas kamikaze, down and catch a body. We be deep off in your party, yo, my niggas get retarded. Bitch, I'm from Lorraine, my old city gang. That chopper black and ugly, I call it chopper rain. Oh, mama shake that ass, that money gon' come. Big ballin' is my hobby, throwing 20s, not ones. Low mama thick, she can get this chick. Ass so fat, she know that she the shit. Low mama thick, she can get this chick. Ass so fat, she know that she the shit. Whoa, Kimo Sabe, big ballin' is my hobby. 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 Fuck these hoes, get money, sell dope, neighborhood superstar. Hound bar shots, bitch about a whole bar. Low mama, do your thing. Ain't no drought over here, I'ma make it rain. Big time, all my niggas grindin'. Hold up, wait a minute, bring it back up, rewind it. Whoa, whoa, move that ass slow. Now bust that pussy open. Watch that cash flow. Little mama called, and she know she got it. Told her she can get it. Big ballin' is my hobby. Little mama thick, she can get this chick. Ass so fat, she know that she the shit. Little mama thick, she can get this chick. Ass so fat, she know that she the shit. Whoa, Kimo Sabe, big ballin' is my hobby. 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 Whoa, Kimo Sabe, whoa, Kimo Sabe, whoa, Kimo Sabe, whoa, Kimo Sabe, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Wow. Shout out, man, to the big homie, man. What's going down? It's your man DJ Swamp Thing, man. You in the mix. It's Breaking Ground Radio. It's Thursday, so you already know how we doing it. You know what I mean? Thursday at that. So you know it's Money Move Thursday. And of course, later on in the show, we're going to be talking about how to get your paper right with our homegirl, Nicole Simpson. But before that, we just want to say what's up to everybody. How's everybody's week been? Happy post Netflix and chill day. You know what I mean? Hope you got into them scans. If not, hey, it's all good. Happens to the best of us. But we in here, man. You already know. Got a lot planned for us as always. We got, like I said, we got the money moves. We got a young entrepreneur stopping by, 24, 25 years old, man, doing big things. We got a brand new Who's Next track for you, but my homegirl Zaria just dropped today. And we got the exclusive one right here on Breaking Ground Radio, because that's just kind of what we do, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, I got two Who's Next tracks for you. I got the homegirl Zaria, and then I got a dope track unreleased from my homegirl Fresh Fly, Cassius Keys, and my homeboy Cody. Telling you, definitely fire. You can't wait to hear it. I know. I can't either, and it's going down, trust me, in a little bit. But until then, I want you to dope up on this vibe right here, man. My homeboy Lambo, the song is called Tattoo You. Got this dope Sade sample in the background, man. Y'all vibe to this. When we come back, we're going to get more into this, man. Tiffany L's in the building, man. Let's rock. It's Breaking Ground Radio.
Tattoo from the front, tattoo from the back. Tattoo with my love everywhere you at. Tattoo from the front, lick you from the back. Tattoo with my love everywhere you at. Tattoo with my love, baby. Tattoo with my love, baby. Yeah.
My love is no game, this ain't pity pat. She gon' gas me up and I pay for that. Pretty girls with big heads always act like brats. She gon' rock my logo, but she model gal. Now I'm gon' roll this weed, she gon' follow me. Her sex is so good, I shouldn't fuck for free. Tattoo on my wrist, my love is on my sleeve. You stuck on my brain like you on repeat. Now maybe me and you could rule the 7 seas. Aquarian king, won't you be my queen? She love me as an artist and don't call it rap. Telling me one day we gon' get on the map. Why must this big dog chase that kitty cat? Pretty cat, pretty tats. Vision on my mind, hit you from the back. Visions of behind, touch you from the back. Tattoo from the front, tattoo from the back. Tattoo with my love everywhere you at. Tattoo from the front, lick you from the back. Tattoo with my love everywhere you at. Tattoo with my love, baby. 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 We ain't temporary, we more legendary. She like niggas acting scary, like her name is Carrie. Tattoo on my heart, you're who I should marry. You'll be my Michelle and I'll be your Barry. She just love the pain as the needle signs. She's my crazy Courtney and I'm Kurt Cobain. Mural of her brain painted on the wall. Passion's just like Christ, nail you to the wall. Give me all your trust and I'll protect your fall. Greedy with your love, babe, I want it all. Short or tall, I love them all. Slow strokes, you gotta walk before you crawl. Now why must this big dog chase that kitty cat? Pretty cat, pretty tats. Visions in my mind, hit you from the back. Visions in behind, tattoo from the back. Tattoo from the front, tattoo from the back. Tattoo with my love everywhere you at. Tattoo from the front, lick you from the back. Tattoo with my love everywhere you at. Tattoo with my love, baby. Tattoo with my love, baby. Tattoo with my love, baby. Tattoo with my love,
Tattoo from the front, tattoo from the back. Tattoo with my love everywhere you at. Tattoo from the front, lick you from the back. Tattoo with my love everywhere you at. Tattoo with my love, baby. Tattoo with my love, baby. Tattoo with my love, baby. Tattoo with my love.
Tattoo. I wear love. Tattoo.
AB on the track, yeah.
Oh, neighbor. Oh, neighbor. Oh, it will never. Oh, never be the same. Oh, since you've been away from me, my whole life has been incomplete. And now, since you've been away from me, my whole life has been incomplete. And now, it will never be the same. Never be the same. And now, it will never be the same. Never be the same. And now, and now. Lately I've been down on my knees, asking God to help me, please. Don't wanna live life helplessly, trying to get rid of your disease. There's a lust of trust, no boundaries here. Working so hard, my mind ain't clear. My mind ain't clear. It will never be the same. Never be the same. And now, it will never be the same. Never be the same. And now, Dad pay. You ballin' so hard, Dallas Maverick, Orlando Magic, I let them have it. A trick with no hat and a trick with no stick. It will never be the same. Never be the same. And now, I get it. I made my decision, you make a decision. Don't tell all the business, they know how we live and they pray on our down for they hoping and wishing they digging their own holes. Watching it peeking like poor. They don't want it like Lord, no. Since you've been away from me, my whole life has been incomplete. And now, since you've been away from me, my whole life has been incomplete. And now, it will never be the same. Never be the same. Now, never, it will never be the same. Never be the same. And now,
Breaking Ground Radio, we are back in the spot. The homeboy DJ Swamp Thing, man. We rolling. Hold on, what happened to my? There we go. Oh God, I don't hear my music in my headphones. But we back at it, man. It's Thursday. It's third Thursday at that. It's Money Move Thursday. Y'all oughta know what that means. I got my homegirl Tiffany L in the building. What's going on? How you?
Another day, another day.
Another day?
Ooh, it's been a long one, too.
Been a long one?
Yep.
No, it has.
Started another new job.
Oh, yeah? Where you at now?
It's a teaching job.
Okay.
And let me tell you, woo, I feel like it's about to be an episode of Lean on Me. 5-6.
5-6 grade or 5-6-year-olds?
Split. No, grade.
Okay. Are they splitting, like changing classes and that kind of stuff?
It's gonna be two classrooms, but they both have 5th and 6th graders.
Ah.
And so it's a long story, but
no doubt.
So I'm gonna be doing pushing, like going in and pulling small groups, whatever. But apparently these are like the wildest kids, and they break things, leave the classroom, have their phones out, punch teachers, all kinds of shit. So we about
to charter school?
Yeah, of course it is.
That's where they be at. That's where they be at. I taught one. Actually, I was a substitute teacher at one, and then I wound up being full time back in Florida. It was the same thing, man. It's charter school, but they would go and fight the principal if they wanted to, if they had to.
Yeah.
So I understand the struggle, but it's all good though. You know what I mean? I know we got a dope. I'm really excited about this young lady coming through. Mommy and me, Asia Welch.
Yep.
Really excited about her. She seems excited. She has is it a dance studio? Is that what it is? Okay, dance studio. So we'll be talking to her about. I really just want to know. I want to know how she got it started. You know, people always talk about how they can't do things and or they're too young or too old. I mean, she's 20-something years old, and you know what I mean,
24.
making a life for herself and her young baby, so her young girl. So you know what I mean, it can happen. It can happen. You know what I mean, and we got. I know you said we only got losses on the wins and fails. Only fails. It's been a horrible week, though. It really has.
I mean, I would have to dig deep. Like Khloe Kardashian spent money on her new baby nursery. Like, I mean, and that to most people ain't even a win. So, like, right. Yeah, I don't really. I mean, unless you're watching the Olympics, and you know we're doing all right in that.
Yeah, we don't ever do the best. The winning thing is not really our forte. I mean, we do okay, but we definitely get more gold medals during the Summer Olympics for sure. Definitely for sure. Well, we'll let's do this. We'll do the who's next track because it's a double track. I actually need to get the second one, but I got the first one right here. And then when we come back, we'll do the fails that Tiffany L has in store. I like you said, it's not anything good, but
it's what's happening.
It is what's happening. And I'm just trying to make sure I actually have it because now I don't see it. I had the song earlier and now I don't see it. I don't know where it went. Freestyle. Hey, okay. Well, let's do the fails now and I'll look for this song. How's that? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's go.
And now my Facebook has shut me out.
Oh man, it's one thing after another.
No. Right. It's saying my password. It's not my password. And I'm like, bro, I know.
It's the same one I've been doing for all this time.
I know what it is. All right, failed.
Cool.
Where shall we begin? Shall I just give you a list of? I mean, because I got more than 3. Like I can.
Yeah, we can. Let's do a list, and then you know whatever we like most flabbergasted off of, we can talk about.
Shit, everything.
Yeah,
flabbergasted about a lot of shit. Well, most importantly, I guess most of us have heard about the mass shooting that happened at the Florida high school.
Yeah.
Just Tuesday. No, excuse me, Wednesday, yesterday. Yeah, this is happening actually yesterday. A 19-year-old who had been expelled for, multiple reasons, basically disciplinary issues, and suspected like maybe mental health issues or whatever, came into school and shot and killed 17 people.
17 people.
And 15 more people are injured. Some are in critical condition. And check this out, the AR-15 that he had. Yes, you did hear me say an AR-15. He bought legally himself.
At how old is he?
19.
You can buy guns at 18?
I have no idea what the hell the gun laws are at this point anymore. It seems as though my 11-year-old can probably go and get a damn gun.
Yeah. My son, somebody let him get one.
Exactly. So I guess basically he went in there, shot the school up, and then I guess he Ubered there with his backpack and like the big duffel bag.
And he goes to the school? He got suspended.
He used to. He got expelled. Okay, and so then upon like trying to make his getaway, he takes off, he drops the gun, drops the vest and all his extra ammo and tries to blend in with the crowd. And I guess when everything was going on, one of the football coaches, the assistant football coach, is also a security guard there, part-time security guard, and heard it and over the walkie-talkies was like, nah, that's not firecrackers. And then he got killed shielding bullets from kids. Yeah, the assistant football coach. So everybody is devastated because I guess he had actually gone to the school, graduated from there, started working there, loved his kids, loved everyone, had a relationship with everybody because he went there.
Right, got so much history there.
Yeah, so then the boy flees, but like is blending in with the crowd. But because he didn't drive, it's just walking down the street. And I guess the bulletins go out over the police thing. I guess, what do you call it? Anyway.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The police bulletin goes out. The guy first looked at him and thought he was just like, oh, he's a kid, blah, blah, blah. But then realized that his description of his clothing matched the shooter and said he had no problems picking him up. Like old boy got in the car, like, and there wasn't no issues or whatever. And the public defender is saying, like, that he's like a broken child and like, you know,
they're always
these
broken.
Issues. Right, exactly.
They're always a broken child.
Well, which is the reason why the gun law should be stricter. If he's been having, you know, he had multiple disciplinary actions during his educational career, like that should have been a flag in some sort of, you know what I mean, in some sort of database. And that leads me to fail number 2.
That's terrible.
This morning, in fact, Trump quietly signed in a bill repealing a bill that Obama signed in just last year, making it difficult for people with mental illnesses or that were signed up to get Social Security checks for mental illnesses or people who were, I guess, unfit to handle their money. To put them in a background check database. So it would have been an extra 75,000 people added. He repealed that law and is basically making it easier for people with mental disabilities to get guns. So it's literally like, I posted this on my Facebook, like, please challenge me. Please call in at 614-781-0754. If you have anything intelligent to say to back up how you can possibly see this as a positive thing, that people with mental illnesses should be having AR-15s and walking around shooting up schools. Like, I legit don't understand how we can say we're sad about another mass shooting and another school shooting.
Yep.
And then turn right around and be like, but I think everybody should have guns. Like, what?
And if that wasn't enough, did you hear his thing about food stamps?
No.
So he wants to get rid of food stamps and have people from grocery stores bring boxes to those who are qualified, to bring boxes of food to the houses.
So they can bring you expired food?
So they're going to bring expired food, canned food, stuff that's not healthy, just BS, just because it's cheaper, instead of having people just go to the store and buy. Nobody there's nobody. I can't go and knock on your door and say I'm going to grocery shop for you. I have no idea what it is that you purchase on a regular basis from the grocery store.
Not only that,
but I'm not even about to write a list and tell you what I get on a normal basis, because there's a whole system that goes into it. People, you know, you got that doesn't make it just doesn't make.
Not only sense. That, what about allergies? What about specific dietary restrictions?
And they're gonna have to go through all that.
What about religious restrictions of people who can't have milk, can't have eggs, can't have? That's ridiculous.
It's gonna be too much work. It's gonna be entirely too much work for the millions of people who depend on monthly food stamps, that make a list and, like you said, have all that already in their head and go out and spend the money on the food. And they already have a restriction on what you can't get.
And
so it's not like It's not like you can go and cheat the system and buy something with their money. You got to come out of your own pocket to buy some candy,
right?
You know, so that if in my opinion, is like, isn't that enough? You already restricted. If you want to take it up to the next level, then maybe I can see you restricting some more food. But give people the opportunity to go buy their own stuff.
I could see you restricting junk food. No issues on that. Like, I legit, like, as someone who has survived on food stamps and needed them, and even as a school teacher, which should be a damn shame to each and everyone who just heard me say that. As a school teacher, if I qualify for food stamps,
right,
you already know that this is a fucked up educational system. You already understand that this is a fucked up government that we are working at. People who are literally educating the masses, the children, the future CEOs, the future doctors, the future lawyers, the future scientists, all that shit. I can't even feed myself and my family. There's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And now we're going to tell people like, nah, it's cool. I'll go ahead and make you a little box up. Nah.
No.
That's
yeah.
That's
I mean, and like I said, it's not, people want no matter what your financial status, people want to feel the freedom that is told the United States gives. That takes away freedom. Because now you're basically telling people on there that we don't trust what you're doing with these cards. We don't trust it. Now, granted, there might be some crazy shit that goes on with the cards, but there's no possible way.
It's no crazier than the fools that you're putting AR-15s in their hands, but being like, damn, I didn't think he was gonna shoot the school up. Like,
that is the least of your worries.
Let's concern ourselves with dead children in a school. I send my baby to school today. We didn't study for his fucking SATs to get into college, and now my baby is dead because you thought it would be okay to let this crazy motherfucker have a gun. I am flabbergasted. I literally am sitting in a world trying to figure out who the fuck do we live with? Who are we sitting in this world with where people are like, yeah, that sounds like a good ass fucking idea.
But what is my thing is,
like, I'm heated. I'm pissed.
Well, I am too, because I have kids, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm homeschooling from now on. But I'm like, what do you do? The question becomes, what are we not doing to not catch this? Because in my opinion, there is a shit ton of what's the word I'm looking for? Of pre-notion. That's not the word I'm looking
preventable for. Preventable things.
Yeah, that you can see, that parents in the community and teachers and people can see from kids if you're paying attention, which is problem number one, because I don't think enough parents are paying attention. They just brush it off. He's going through a phase. It's teenage years. He'll be okay. No, he might actually have a damn problem. So he needs to go and talk to somebody right now.
Absolutely.
And it just might save lives.
There's a lot of things. It could be parents not paying attention or making excuses. It could be parents are having 3, 4, 5, 17 jobs to make sure that kid eats today because Trump doesn't want them to have fucking food stamps. It could also be that there's not enough guidance counselors. I remember always having a guidance counselor per so many grades. They don't do that shit anymore. They legit, at my one kid's school, and it was a good school that she went to, they had a guidance counselor only twice a week. And a nurse only twice a week. So I'm like, well, what the hell happens if you get a stomach ache on the other days or you start throwing up? They just
you asked out.
But you know what they do? That's the receptionist job. The receptionist now becomes the guidance counselor and the nurse. Like, that's not her job. Not to mention, I mean, and that speaks to all the billions of dollars they're taking out of education. How can you afford to pay for all these people if you're taking all that money out of education? It's got to come from somewhere. But after all, we do need to save money for this fucking wall that's not going to work. Like when I post that shit about the wall and people have the nerve to respond as though it somehow seems to make sense.
Right.
I like lose so much more respect for them. And not that I have a problem with you disagreeing with what I have to say, because by all means, present your argument.
Right.
But if your argument is basically...
But it's got to make sense.
But if your argument is basically they're illegal so they shouldn't be here, I shouldn't be here either.
Right.
I think I was minding my motherfucking business wherever the fuck I was at, and you niggas came to get me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we really talking about?
Right.
The bottom line is they're here now, and if they're not bothering you, they're not hurting you, they're not taking away from you, why do you care?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Think about all the things that you could be getting from those people who are here. The extra language, the extra culture, the extra everything, the extra help, the extra humanity, the extra love, all of these things, rather than I don't like that so many of them is working in this factory that you don't even fucking want to work for, working for money that you don't even want to work for. Like, what are you mad about?
Right.
What are you angry about? You
Right.
don't want that job and you ain't going to accept that pay anyway. Why don't you let them have it and be happy with what they're, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you.
What
I'm
the
with you
fuck?
100%. Yeah, I'm with you 100%. And it pisses me off too.
It makes me sad how selfish people are.
Yeah, and you see it every day in the news. You see it every day in the news, and the way people talk, and the way people view things. And our commander in chief. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back. We'll have our first guest of the evening. It's Asia Welch is already in the building, so it's about to go down. But until then, we got the Who's Next track of the week, and like I told you, it's a double dose. So the first track I'm gonna play is "The Way You Move." This is by one of my I'm a fan. You know, her name is Zaria. The song is by Chris Los. Actually, Zaria is the feature on here. Now this lady can really sing. She's a 20-something-year-old. Really glad that she's back into the music scene because she kind of dipped out for a little while. I met her over a year ago, and now I'm glad that she's back. As soon as I saw that she was posting something, I was like, yo, please send me that ASAP. And then the second one is by my first family, my homegirl, Fresh Fly, Cassius Keys and Cody. And I'm only playing it because they said I could, because it's not even out yet. So this is a super exclusive track. They performed it one time at the Pipeline. Shout out to Sam Rothstein, and that was it. So if you haven't heard it, definitely need you to stay close, chime in, and listen to these two tracks. And then when we'll be back, we got Asia Welch on the mic. All right, it's Breaking Ground Radio. Let's go.
Ugh.
Danger. Ooh,
I just wanna jump right in and dip into your ocean. The way your body moving make me feel like I control it. But I don't wanna play no games so we can get much closer. I just wanna see you move. I wanna see what you can do. Cause we can catch a plane and fly away to the mountaintop. And I don't wanna say a thing, just let your body run. I don't wanna play no games the way you move it. Yeah, I love the way you move it. I just wanna see you use it. We can catch a plane and fly away to the mountains. And I don't wanna say a thing, just let your body run. I don't wanna play no games the way you move it. Yeah, I love the way you move it. I just wanna see you use it. We gon' vibe out to this music till the sun go down. And we gon' party all night and we gon' scream and shout. I just wanna jump right in and dip into your ocean. The way your body moving make me feel like I control it. But I don't wanna play no games so we can get much closer. I just wanna see you move. I wanna see what you can do. Cause we can catch a plane and fly away to the mountaintop. And I I don't wanna say a thing, just let your body run. I don't wanna play no games, the way you move it. Yeah, I love the way you move it. I just wanna see you use it. We can catch a plane and fly away to the mountains. And I don't wanna say a thing, just let your body run. I don't wanna play no games, the way you move it. Yeah, I love the way you move it. I just wanna see you use it. And we gon' vibe out to this music till the sun go down. And we gon' party all night and we gon' scream and shout.
This is the beginning of the end, the inception of a trend. My pen writes with or quick draw, it draws, withdraws from within. Like I'm addicted, but it's a pen, not needle, ink, not meth. My bars got sentences within the sentence set. That's factual. I set aside dividends from business trips so I don't have to divide the pie. That's irrational. And time ain't free, so just free my words. Your face looks like you have alcohol poisoning from bar hopping all through my verse. I work throughout the week, but get fresh and fly like King Tut on Sundays and sat with the daydreamers. But everything happens for a reason, right? Hey.
Everything happens for a reason, but this right here intentional, baby. Everything happens for a reason, but I'm showing why the mind is critical. The hate is unforgivable. Man, I'm about to make somebody jealous. Man, there's nothing they can tell us. Man, they know that we rebellious. When they see us, they say, "Hell, you speak my mind, I couldn't care less." The doctors say I'm sick, can't nobody cure me. Been yelling for help, but didn't nobody hear me. Now they about to feel me, now they about to fear me. Let me talk my shit, They know I bring that heat inside my quick with irons. Still running my lane like I do not get tired. They see I'm on the way, they tryna grab a tire. Oh yeah, I'm on the step, I get though you fire. I got that torch, and if I go to hell in this time, I hope I come back in the Porsche. Leave the stars at board, that's why my bars at boards. Wonder why I spit this way, they tryna search for the source. But of course, they can't run my course. This my sport, you so dead, just a corpse. About to take off in the port, like it's not mine. Got it out the valley while I'm passing all these stop signs. No brakes, watch my grind. There's something I can tell you. My cousin got that wire. If you the Iggy Azaleas and it ain't from Australia, gotta get that money, go to jail, but he can bail you. There's nothing he can't sell you, but I don't do the white. I ain't the type you can get snorting. Baby, no, I let it smoke the type you can get rolling. Can't do the lean, ain't the type to be snoring. So I stay by the mic and she like a rum recording. Yeah, I can do this all sunset long. Walk down the beach as they play my song. Ha, what that sound like? Can't you tell I'm in my critical mind, right? This what happens when you fresh and you got the keys. With the incentive truth, you want the proof to pay the fees. We can do this all sunset long. Chill on the beach, just sing my song. Down bad, won't be here for long. They can't shade me for long. I'ma shine out sunset long. Sunset long. Shine bright all sunset long. Mama told me sunshine, the word is bomb. Bells, man, give a fuck about what you want. Got 10% down, need money like the 1% now. Get the comments to pay on my mama rent now. Voices in my head screaming, be humble, sit down. Sit your ass down. And I'm busy yelling, why? Tell me I can reach my dreams and my limit ain't the sky. So why you try and clip my wings when you know this cage bird will still sing? Cause money talking, silence golden, closed mouths don't get fed. We can send a room, always keep this open. Train of thought so locomotive, emotional roller coaster, coasting, flowing into deep seas of regret. I be drowning ocean, too much for me. So I blow trees. Yeah, the wind is strong, and I'ma shine on sunset long, and I'ma grind won't be the real for long. Man, I just wanna sing my song. I just wanna make this bread, make sure my family fed, and that's worth every tear shed and every cut that bled. Nods and backs, spinal attacks, I'm stating facts, I can't relax. Got friends that be loading straps and one that traps 16 plus, cause ain't nothing to rap. It's free tone and lit, Billy R.I.P. So remember middle school buses, the MLC. Now I put in so much work, I need promotions and devotion and commitment. Good eyesight, hindsight, but so you can see my vision. I can do this all sunset long. Walk down the beach as they play my songs. Ha, what that sound like? Can't you tell I'm in my critical mind, right? That's what happens when you're fresh. Got the keys, but then set the truth, you want the proof to pay the fees. We can do this all sunset long. All sunset long. We can do it all sunset long. Sunset long.
Hey, what's going on? It's your man DJ Swamp Thing, host of Breaking Ground Radio with my homegirl Tiffany L. Hey, listen, if you ever miss an episode of Breaking Ground, no worries. Let me tell you what you do. You log on to YouTube, type in Breaking Ground, and you right there, part of the family. I know it sounds like a lot, but once you get on, it'll all be worth it. All right, and remember, we're on every Thursday from 6 to 8 right here, WTMHradio.com, where local and mainstream collab. All right?
Are you looking for that special photographer to capture your special moments? One that is experienced, professional, and visionary? And most of all, one that will not break the bank? Whitney Chanel Photography is a Columbus-based one-stop shop for all your photography needs. From makeup artistry to graphic design, specializing in portrait, boudoir, and family photography. Whitney Chanel Photography guarantees not only to provide exceptional service, but an enjoyable photography experience. Follow and like Whitney Chanel Photography on Facebook or call now for a free consultation. 614-347-9448. 614-347-WHID. Whitney Chanel Photography. Life is beautiful. Capture.
Breaking Ground Radio, it's your man DJ Swamp Thing, man. It's Thursday, man. We back at it. So hopefully y'all tuned in and love those double dose of the Who's Next track. Shout out to Zara, shout out Fresh Fly, Catch the Keys, Cody. Yeah, I mean, definitely some dope tracks. Remember, if you want your track played on Breaking Ground Radio, all you got to do is send an email with the MP3 to breakingground.radio@gmail.com. That's breakingground.radio@gmail.com. And you will get an official email right back at you to let you know that not only did we get the song, but I'll let you know exactly what week we're going to play it. So shout out to all the people that have been sending stuff thus far, man. We've been getting a lot of responses for it. So definitely appreciate that. So next up, we got our first guest of the week definitely Tiffany. This is Tiffany L. Sort Out. She spotted her out, and she couldn't have got a better person. Read the bio, and definitely excited to have this young lady. As a matter of fact, I'll let Tiffany go ahead and do the proper intro.
Absolutely. I'm super excited. Actually, I found you, I believe, on the CIS site. What's the name of it?
CIS, what's your service /business?
Yes.
614.
Yes, it's a Facebook group. Okay. And actually, Monda, she added me. Oh. And I know. And so it's all about, I guess it's all Black women or people of color who have a business or whatever their service is. I was about to
get on mine, like she ain't add me.
Nah.
But I know why.
This is only. But anyway, so I, just scan throughout the day, like looking at different things, and like sometimes I'm like, ooh, I want that. Ooh, I need that. Ooh, whatever. And I saw her. And first of all, Miss Asia is only 24. I'm so excited about that. She's originally from Columbus. Started dancing at 5, did all kinds of different kinds of dance, tap, modern, jazz, hip hop, the whole 9, and wanted to someday figure out a way to, I guess, incorporate her loves into her loves. Mm-hmm. She had a sweet little baby, and being a single mom myself, or I was, like that life is hard to try to maintain who you are, and be all that you want to be for them. And so as she was taking her baby to all her different dance classes and rehearsals and all kinds of things, she tried to figure out a way she could meld the two. And so she came up with her Mommy and Me classes. So she has Mommy and Me dance classes, and they get together, and I've seen a couple of the pictures, and they're so cute and sweet. And actually, I know one of the girls that comes to her class, Tanya. And I saw her not that long ago, and so fun. So tell us how did you, once you came up with the awesome concept, how did you turn the concept into fruition, because I think that's the part that a lot of people get hung up on. That they have amazing ideas, but they get hung up in, I can't do it, I don't have any money, I can't do it, I don't have a space, I can't do it, I don't know how to build a business. How did you get past all of those?
So what I would say is that you have to get past your fear and just take a chance. I literally was taking my daughter to my dance classes. I see her bopping and jamming in the corner, and I came up with the idea. And when I say I got online, just Google, and I just searched different dance studios in Columbus, I shot an email to different dance studios, like, here's my idea. If you would like to, meet or talk about this, if you'll be interested, please let me know. And I had, a few people respond back. It wasn't everyone, but that's more than enough for me. And so me just sending out my email, the studio I'm at now, Columbus Dance Center, they're like, we think that's a wonderful idea. Come check us out. They hired me on as an instructor there. So I was just trying to find a space, and they brought me on to their staff. So I was appreciative of that. So you gotta take a chance, because you sit on your idea, you might give the opportunity to someone else that think about it a little later. So you got to get past your fears. You got to learn along the way, meet other people. We're not going to know how to do it all. So I think networking is very important too.
Absolutely.
I love that you said this. This is personally a big deal. And in the last couple of weeks, like Swamp and I have been quite inspired by a lot of the entrepreneurs that we brought in here who just said basically what you said, but just go out there and do it. Like just start first, and then figure out what else, other pieces you need to do. Because I am the queen of ideas. I fill notebooks with ideas of like, ooh, that would be good. Ooh, that would be good. And then later, I see like a couple years down the road, I go, damn, somebody got my idea. Like I had that idea before they ain't even sweet. Like they ain't even do it the way I would have done it. And then I sit and I think to myself, should I still do it? Can I still do it? Or will it be like, or will it seem like I just stole the idea and was like, oh, I can do it better. Like, so I think about that all the time. And particularly I had an emotional day yesterday, not because I'm single or anything, like, but because I'm not where I wanted to be professionally and financially, keep it all the way 1,000. But I have all of these amazing ideas. And actually, my mother-in-law sat with me and she said, she's actually a life coach and a pastor. And she said, I heard you say this idea, this one particular idea so many times, but what have you done? Did you write it down? Did you call people? Did you ask questions? And I just was like, well, I don't know how to do it. It just seems like, you know what I'm saying? How do I get a space? How do I get people to buy into my idea? She was like, Tiffany, I've already bought in, but you don't have it written down. So how can I help you with it? And I thought, and so then this morning I woke up and she had given me a piece of paper that was like, write down your goals and put a date to it and stick to it. And then tell people about it that will help you stick to it too. Hey, baby, coming in. So I'm so grateful and glad that, damn, at 24, well,
wait a minute.
But let me ask. What was we doing in our 20s?
I don't remember. It was all a blur. Trust me, it was all a blur. College, come on, it was all a blur.
But no, but I had to put it in motion.
But tell me, what are the steps that you took? Because I think a lot of people get scared of when they figure out, when they think it's too much work. They think it's too much work to try and build something from scratch or from the ground up. So just kind of go through your personal steps for you to get to where you're at.
Okay. So I can be completely honest. I am an emotional person. Like when I get into something, I put my all, I put my passion into it. So I can unfortunately get discouraged real easy. And what I've noticed is that it's really important to have a support system. I think sometimes we get into this idea like, I got this thing I want to do. I need to do it myself. I can do this myself. And you can't do it all by yourself. And it takes having a team, whether it's a friend, some mentors, or just someone that's in the same field that you're doing, to be able to motivate and support you to keep you going. So when you are discouraged, you have somebody that can speak some life into you. Sometimes we're not going to have the strength to keep going on our own. So I say number one is once you have your idea, get some people that you trust, people want to see you win. As long as they want to see you win, they may not even know how to tell you where to go, what to do, but they believe in you. Get your plan, get your people, and just network. You got to get out there. Like you can't learn anything if you do not put yourself out there. It's scary, it's terrifying, but when you have a vision, you got to put the steps to follow through.
Absolutely.
So I think those are 3 good steps.
Absolutely. I think they're very, very valid steps. So when did you, because I know, you've been to the dance programs before prior, but when did it take you're looking in your daughter's eyes to say, you know what, I'm gonna do something better? Or did you kind of already have, because you sound like you already had an entrepreneurial spirit from jump. So, was having the kid just a jump start, or was that just like, okay, yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I already had it in my head. So now I got her looking at me like, what you gonna do, Mom?
Right.
So let me go ahead and do it. How was that?
So I was 21 when I got pregnant with my daughter. I had just graduated from OSU. I told my mom, like, I'm going to Atlanta. That's the hot spot for dancers. I said, I'm
for sure.
up and going. That's what I'm doing. I'm saving some money. I'm pursuing my dance career. And then I found out I was pregnant. So I'm like, okay, this is a little more difficult than just to up and go. And honestly, I was completely discouraged. I was a young mom. And I felt like I had ruined my life, to be honest, because I didn't think I could pursue my dance dreams anymore. So it wasn't until I had my daughter and I started to see how much she was into what I was doing. It was like a light, when you bring your child and they see what you're doing, you kind of encourage them. And it wasn't until I started taking her along that I started to get these ideas, because I had lost all types of motivation for a long time. And I think that happens and it's normal. Yeah. You got to have that sometimes to pull you back in. Yeah. But no, it wasn't from jump. It was a journey.
Yeah, did you always, so when you wanted to go pursue your dance career, where did you see yourself? What was your goal for you minus before having your baby?
So it was one of those, you hear about how people literally pack up and go sometimes. And that was my plan. I've been to Atlanta before. I've kind of know some of the dance studios. I have family that live down there. So I was going to move and just make it happen. So once I found out I was pregnant, this was like a stop on everything, because now I got to replan, because I have a life to look after. Right. So it completely altered what I thought I was going to do. But, sometimes what you think that you're supposed to do and what God has for you to do is 2 different things.
Absolutely.
And so we get discouraged and we see things as roadblocks sometimes, but you never really know what exactly that's going to push you forward to. So I'm grateful that it turned out the way it did, because our mommy and me classes are great.
That's awesome. So how often do you have them? How's that work?
Sure. So we have them only once a week, because, the babies, they still got short attention span.
Oh, yeah.
So we do it Saturday morning, like right before nap time. So like at 10:45.
Perfect.
Get them home and put them to bed. Put them to bed, baby.
A lot of programming does not think about that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of, my daughter takes dance classes at JDSD, and she dances competitively. But like she's 11. Okay. But a lot of her dance classes are like at 8 and 9 o'clock. And I'm like, my baby has to go to school. Right. My baby has homework. But what they a lot of them do is, a lot of the kids bring their homework and they go into one room, do their homework, and then go in and out of their classes. But I was like, that's not what I want for her. Like, we're not at a level where we're like competing and traveling and that all like that. I just wanted her to get a taste of what she wanted to do, but still keep her grounded. Right. What's most important, because dance is fun, but dance doesn't have to be your life right now. Now, if later you want it to be, I support you, but I need them A's to be there to support them that dance as well. And it's $1 million. If you dance competitively, like, I think, like, it seems so cute at first, like, oh, put your baby in a ballet class, like, blah, 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 it's a little bit, but then, like, them costumes,
they can be expensive.
Honey.
Traveling.
And they always want the money right before Christmas, and I be real mad, like, and my baby gonna get Christmas too? That is my baby's Christmas. Her $350 costumes. Happy Christmas, boo. Like, that's it, you done. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So just because I want to make sure we tackle this before we go on break, but just kind of break down with the dance class and what involves, what takes place, time, days, how they can register, all that good stuff.
Okay, so I'll give y'all a breakdown. So it's every Saturday. It's from 10:45 to 11:15. Only 30 minutes, just for the baby's sake. It's at Columbus Dance Center. That is in Gahanna. So it's 1000 Morrison Road. You can check out the website, columbusdancecenter.com. Has all the mommy and me information. What we do every week, we teach the babies different tricks. So we always specialize in them learning some type of new dance style. So we do hip hop, we do ballet, we do jazz. We do it all. I make the mommies get involved. We do activities together. They be rolling on the ground, you know, crawling, doing all that. So each week, it's an 8-week session. And so each week we try to introduce things slowly at a time so that they also learn vocabulary and that they're learning how to socialize with others and share and form friendships. And it's been really great so far. This is only my second session doing it, but it's been successful.
That's amazing.
That's great.
So what is the age range for your mommy?
I try to be really flexible. So like on the website, you got to give a guideline. It says 18 months to 3.5 years old. As long as your baby can walk, I can work with that. If you have a 4-year-old, you know, a new 4-year-old you think will still fit in the group, I say try it out. It doesn't hurt to try. If it's not for you, it's not for you.
Right.
And is there a follow-up class for the kids who like just to go into Columbus Dance Center that they pick up where you leave off? Like
Sure.
At 4
Yes.
or whatever?
So Columbus, you know, everything happens for a reason. Columbus Dance Center, they are really awesome. There's other teachers there. So after my age range, they have another teacher who does like pre-ballet, pre-jazz. And we do a lot of the kind of similar activities, but I water it down for the babies. And like my daughter, every time we finish, she goes into the big girls class, you know, start dancing along. So they have classes for each stage, which is really good.
That's perfect. So all they needed was your stage.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So that's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
So is your dream to expand?
You know, that's a good question. I'll be completely honest. I didn't think long term about this because I was like, I just want something to do with my baby girl. Yeah. And if it works, it works. And if not, we did it. Ultimately, I do want to do this maybe for a year. But as long as she's going to do it with me, she's my demonstrator in classes. So as long as she's down for it, I'm down for it. But when she's ready to tap out, then I got to tap out too.
I hear you. Well, that's great, man. Well, we wish you much success. How can people just get in touch with you, social media, or, you know, if they are, now let me ask you this. Are they able to come to a class just to watch?
Yes,
and see?
I'm open for that. Okay. I do believe that you should be or allow people to see what they're getting themselves into first. Right. So we're completely open to them coming to view a class. That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
As far as contact information, you can find me on any social media. On Facebook, my first name is Asia, Aysia. It should pop up. Not too many people spell their names like that. It is Mychaela, Mychaela. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, Asia M. You can also find me on Twitter, Asia M, Aysiam.
One time for Asia Welch. No doubt. So we're going to take a quick break. When we back, we're talking that money. We got Nicole System in the building. Sitting in here for, what was it, round? This is the second or third time? Second time?
Money moves. And we are talking about managing your needs versus your wants. And Lord knows I need to manage every damn week. And how to be a producer and not just a consumer. So I'm interested to see what I am doing wrong this week that I need to up my goals on. So, Breaking Ground Radio.
So y'all don't go nowhere, man. We're going back. Here we go. Cassius Keys. What up, man? Stand up. The song is called Wrong Turn. Breaking Ground Radio. Let's go.
Trying to find my way, yeah. I've been trying to find my way, yeah. I've been trying to find my way this way. Wrong turn, bridges all burn. You live, you learn. Just wait, your turn. This way, wrong turn, bridges all burn. You live, you learn. Just wait, your turn.
Nah, never that. I'ma go out and go get it. Yo, go sky high, my masterpiece, no limit. Don't need a gimmick to sell, no. Grinding won't fall off the rails, no. Splash God need a pill, whoa. Wave God need a shell, whoa. Smoke kush for the smell. Fuck it just to hear him on. Cause she want me for the cheese. Mozzarella provolone, tell her Uber home now. Won't break you off if you break down. I will never put the break down. Shorty tried to tell me slow down. New phone, who this now? Songs hit, I don't miss. Home runs on the regular. Grand slams on the regular. So don't ever call me regular. Just pray for the predator. Nowadays, I'ma pray on some predators. Run the game, need a letterman. All the asses who letterman. How that rookie moving like a veteran. Yeah. This way, wrong turn, bridges, all burn. You live, you learn. When you trying to find your way, this way, wrong turn, bridges, all burn. You live, you learn. When you trying to find your way, yeah. I've been trying to find my way, yeah. I've been trying to find my way this way. Wrong turn, bridges, all burn. You live, you learn. This way, your turn. Hey, I've been moving like the OGs. Say let's do more, ayy. Why y'all trying to cover up the fee? Shoe store, ayy. Want more, do more, ayy. That's the motto I always follow. Heard the sky was the limit. Well, I guess I'm me Apollo. So take off on the regular, moving all through the nebula. Money scheme for the team in the dream. What that mean? Gotta touch more paper than editors. Flame this here, mine like a settler. About to blow up, go settle arms. Get paid to talk, this a seminar. I get paid to talk, this a seminar. 2 words, splash guy. Leave them all, starstruck. Feeling like a deer hunter would. I've been aiming for the buzz, ayy. I've been trying to run it up, ayy. Track star, marathon, run the game from the fall to the summer. Burn gas faster than a Hummer, ayy. Free smoke, ayy. This audio dope, ayy. Type of track to get you hope. Swear to God, I ain't never gonna be broke. Word to every single word that I wrote. Wave surfboard, switching the bow. Put the sheets closed into a goal. Started out paying to perform, yeah. This way, wrong turn. Bridges, all burn. You live, you learn. We trying to find your way, this way. Wrong turn. Bridges, all burn. You live, you learn. We trying to find your way, yeah. I've been trying to find my way, yeah. I've been trying to find my way this way. Wrong turn, bridges, all burn. You live, you learn. Just wait, your turn.
Regardless of what they say, I'ma shine. Cause I know anything worth having takes time. Wanna let nobody down, so this money on my mind. Don't forgive me of my sins, cause you know that I'm trying. But it's hard out here. People trying to test me, trying to pour my cold out here. You know I gotta watch them closest. You know they be fraud out here. But I ain't scared of nobody. God is the only one I feel. Is the only one to hold my hand.
I don't need permission, the truth of my objective. Every syllable injected with venom, I'm writing substance. Constructed, no executive order, you can't oppress this substance. With dramatic, get deflected, every bar got potential. 100% with my innermost self. Guarding that reflection, I'm headed for the throne without a hesitance. I flow like when the methadone go through your veins into your soul. Positivity, rate your inferior, race with superior, force with my imperial ways. See, I'm something like a plague, I've never been afraid. In the face of adversity, your grin is on my face. I make that suicidal, I make devils wanna pray. I give light to the sun so bright the moon looks away. I'm a force that defies, I spin the earth the other way. I'm the signature of truth, better watch what you say. I'm the scheme in your eye, the scene when you die. I'm the feeling in your heart when your dream come alive. I'm the blood in your veins, drugs in your brain. I'm the bullet that you shoot at the mirror when in pain.
So what they say, I'ma shine. Cause I know anything worth having takes time. Wanna let nobody down, so this money on my mind. Don't forgive me of my sins, cause you know that I'm trying better, but it's hard out here. People trying to test me, trying to pour my cold out here. You know I gotta watch them closely. You know they be fraud out here, but I ain't scared of nobody. God is the only one I feel. Is the only one to hold my hand.
I've been in this game for so long, it's amazing. Touch many souls with these songs that I'm making. Trusting many folks when they were wrong. I'm just saying that this so I know when they're faking. Even my girl think I'm cheating, allow these rhymes to consume me. I'm so guilty's when I'm pleading. This ain't poetry alone, this the painting of my feelings. Intervention for the zones that's supposed to be eating of the crumbs. Endured in my mind, I'm going raw with the beat. My intention undefined, my attitude has changed. I no longer fear the ground, I let my ego take control. I ain't worried about no clowns on me, I don't give a shit. Like I no longer move about. I'm a player, I know it's how to fail. I'm the thoughts of a schizo, warring between the Holocaust and the nymph. See, music is my medicine, this medicine's a weapon. I'm calmer for you doubters what you least.
I'm the hip hop with the prophets and religion. A mercy to the genre, the realest exhibition.
Cause I know anything worth having takes time. Wanna let nobody down, so this money on my mind. Don't forgive me of my sins, cause you know that I'm trying to do better, but it's hard out here. People trying to test me, trying to pour my cold out here. You know I'm close, you know they be fall out here. But I started, God is the only one I feel, is the only one to hold my pain.
Moves, breaking ground.
I got moves. Oh, I'm making moves. You gotta move.
Got a homegirl, our friend, our financial mentor, Cole Simpson.
Hi to the people.
So I can hear you. I can. So what's up?
Man.
Pleasantries first. Pleasantries.
Did I hear you say you're getting sick? It better not be. I'm over here like I just got rid of some tried some old home remedies, and I'm not about that, like, not hugging today.
Oh man, yeah, no, I do feel a little bit under the weather, but I talk to the people about these financial situations today, so it's all good.
That's right. Maybe looking forward to it, man. I'm telling you, this week is our most followed week, because especially for our brothers and sisters, because niggas is broke. Everyone is trying to get away from that. So they love what's happening.
Man, you want to just jump in?
So this week, a producer, not a consumer, and Denise wants versus we do it. Help us out.
Man, listen, and I was doing some research. I have a financial literacy program, and with young at 20. So we start to really learn, what's and where we're getting the idea from, and how we should spend our money. Nielsen let us know through some research that Black people are watching the most television than anybody in the rest of the country by any other demographic group. So on average, they're saying that Black people are watching about 50 hours of TV a week.
Damn.
It's more than a full job.
Lazy motherfucker.
How? Okay, don't say lazy. Maybe they watching news. They could be watching news.
That's lazy AF. That is.
Okay, they could be watching right now. How did they do that kind of study? Like to narrow out, to single out, I guess, different.
The Nielsen group has to get a Nielsen box, and they would kind of track like, Black people watch HBO, or how many people are watching BET.
Is it like people are voluntarily filling out these things?
They volunteer. There used to be an app subscribe to, and they would hook it to your cable, and it would just track what your normal watching was. Okay. So now there's some other trackers now, because big sorts of ways to do that, but it's deep. Just 2 to 11 that in America, children are watching about 24 hours of television a week.
24 hours a week.
So imagine if you start between ages 2 and ages 11, watching person is watching 50 hours a week. How many times are these companies on television marketing to you? You want to know where the Joneses are. The Joneses are in your TV trying to keep up with. They're telling us how to spend our money. They're telling us where to spend our money, and we're seeing it the most right now. We hear from people who are marketing to us that we haven't heard from all year. Everybody who has a brand new culture folks, everybody needs a new couch. If you turn on the TV, those are the things that they're telling us to do because they know we got a little bit of money in our pocket, a little bit of change, and they tell them that it's completely. And so we've got to learn that to just turn on the television and just be. They say I need to go buy that, turn the TV off. Now I got $5,000 in my pocket. Now I need to go and buy a new couch. You bought a new couch last year. They repossessed it in June when you went to Rent-A-Center.
Face all around.
No, listen, there's a commercial that is like we pay less for furniture or something. It's down the street from my house. And they talk about how they have Ashley furniture. The way the commercial is definitely made for Black people. And you know what I'm saying? Like my credit is not that good, but you know, I don't even think I'm gonna be able to get some stuff. But I've done. It's been, you know, these kids need some new. But I deserve it. I need a new couch, a new living room furniture, and what I do is have a checking account. Like, and I was just like, oh no! First of all, on store. So for them to make A is already sad. B, how you think we talk, and us to be like, oh yeah, I can identify. I guess I can get that furniture too. All you need is $5 down, or it's something ridiculous. Like what?
Yeah, I'm just like that. Or else I have to find me a new co-host.
Shit, I
just want to make that known. Just want to throw that out there real quick.
Speech. Listen, that was terrible.
Listen, that's real talk, you know, and I'm really advising people is, you know, just turn off the radio and turn off the TV because it's going to automatically just trigger you mentally and buy things that you truthfully do not need, and you just believe trained. These people have gone to PhDs in talking to our psych woman out there who is really what you just talked about, and it's causing her to spend all that. So it creates what's considered consumer mindset. So the world economy is based on two things, right? There's going to be people who produce things, and those are the ones who make all the money. And then there are people who consume things, and then that's us. As soon as we get $2 in our pocket, we have to go out and consume it. The dollar doesn't even stay in our neighborhood for 27 seconds now, is what I think they say it is, because we're selling it and getting it back out of our hands. And if people learn that if you can save money today, money can save you tomorrow, because you're going to have that situation where you're going to have an emergency and you're going to need to tap into something. But instead, you let the furniture store tell you that you needed to go and buy beds and a whole new house full of furniture. When you could have been, you know, maybe buying a house. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different things. So, it's a serious situation, and it's starting so young. So what we're doing right now is we're talking to kids starting at age 5, because they begin between age 5 and 7. And if you don't change it at that particular age, it's harder to be able to make financial changes in your life, and just simply setting aside enough money and paying yourself first before you go out. Who is
so what do you give those who, when they get that, like they go from the job to the mall. What what mentally has to happen? You know, what type of I can't think of the word, but for lack of a better one, just to happen when you text that says your account and not go home and put something to your savings, just go to the clear. Like what do you think has to happen mentally?
And I think even explain what you mean with first, and it doesn't mean in shoes and person.
So I'm gonna always recommend that you have a secondary account so that you really don't know. You can automatically set aside a percent. You have a job that has a direct deposit. You can usually set up 1, 2, and possibly 3 different direct deposits. So when you do that, you can usually say, I'm going to set aside a dollar amount, set aside a percentage of my paycheck. So when you do that, if you have direct deposit, you need need is an account that goes and sits somewhere else. I recommend Ally. It is not a Black-owned bank. There are some online banks that you can access that are Black-owned, but Ally 0.45% in a savings account, and that's they're able to earn in a standard account that you can get here in the local Columbus area. But automate that savings. Before you pay for your electricity, before you go buy a shoe, before you go and pay any of these things, because you're automatically the first person to pay should be yourself. Yeah. That's got to be the very first person at the top of the list. And as long as you do that first, it explodes a little bit. But just know that you take care of your home first. There's no way Columbia Gas or any of these other people should be seeing my paycheck before I do. And so we control of our own income. And so we just got to figure out what that is. It's $2. You just have and learn to be able to save first.
So when you say pay yourself, about savings,
I'm talking about specifically setting those to the bank and it just sits over there.
Okay.
Because you're going to blow it anyway. You know what I mean? There's all in line as soon as you get your check to be all waiting, and they're going to be there every single time. We don't put us first. So when we go and spend all of our money and self needs something, when there's an emergency, when those things happen, we're forced to go out and use someone else's money. And that's why we're in a credit situation. That's why we get in the debt situation. Right? Because now we're out trying to use somebody else's money because we don't spend our own first. Yeah. Pay ourselves first, and then we don't have to use, I don't got to ask you for a loan.
Right.
If I pay myself that $20 when my check came in, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And do it consistently. That's part of the problem too.
And I think that's what direct deposit, like she's saying, because it's a lot more difficult to do it where you personally set it aside yourself. Even myself, like when the lump sum's in there, like and I might even I move it there temporarily. Like, oh, look at me, I'm looking good. Look at my savings looking all good. A couple weeks later, I'm like, oh, let me move this money back because I need to go to the grocery store. I need to go to blah 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 blah.
Now that I recommend that they're at SEP don't have that transfer back and forth. You don't want to do that. You want to have that money set aside where it's out of sight and out of mind, because saving money today is going to save you tomorrow. I mean, and it's inevitable because you have it. You're going to get a flat tire. Your kids are going to need something. You're going to get sick, something, and you're going to always be able to fall back on that cushion because you've just been diligent in doing that. And as long as you don't worry about it, it's accumulating.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the number one thing.
Absolutely. In that state, so obviously you don't have anything that's connected to it, like no autumn payments, no nothing like that.
Absolutely.
Just there and forget about it.
That's right.
Like the savings account that I have, I don't even get a statement monthly. It's in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Like because I'm just like that. If I know it's there. Day. Mm-hmm. But if I forget completely, or if I'm running around and that's what I do have. Then that would be not a bad thing about that. Once I figure out 2 weeks that, then I can go all the way 2 hours.
Yeah,
because I but at least by that another paycheck had rolled around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, just about the word I was looking for earlier.
And I mean, if you can use an online that you can't walk into a bring out a withdrawal ticket or stick your card money out, typically it's going to be, maybe 48, maybe 6, or you can transfer it to you. And so that allows you to kind of go through the application and allows you to kind of deal with what's considered buyer's remorse. If it's something that you really needed, but you'll probably think twice about it. Like, well, maybe I didn't need to get that new purse that bad. I didn't need to go buy those new bundles that bad. God knows that was my thing. So I had to put my bundle. I had to put my bundle money in my online account, so I had to think about it because by the time that $700 came my way, I'm just some hair that came from India. So that was my problem that I was dealing with. But taking that extra time, just to be able to think about it and delay the gratification of you just being able to reach out and have something because you just most things right now in this second, even though the world tells us that we do.
When emergencies come up and savings account does come up, how do you think it should be recuperated? Do you think you should just stay in the path you were in, like before the emergency happened, where you had to use it, or is it a necessity to back up the way it was before that to feel more comfortable? For me, if when an emergency happens, like I'm mad that it's a $2 now, or it's $2 or $3 or $4. So do I take the pace that I was before to get it back up? Well, or do I just sacrifice a certain amount of the check?
Well, I think you should judiciously towards now managers that are out there. So some of you, if you've ever heard of like Dave Ramsey or Susie Orman, they have a number that they should, they should be like a gazelle and it's expeditiously save $1,000. That's good. But some folks that I talk to, can we get a lick if we need to? Can we just $500 set aside somewhere? Because there's a lot that you can do with $500 to come to you with some type of a deal. That you might be able to work something out with $500, and that's just about what that amount typically is. So I say just try to make sure that you're working extra hard as fast as you can, and then after that, maybe be systematic. So if you drop below that amount, do whatever you can, and then go back to your systematic savings. But I mean, that's gonna solve pretty much any minor issue because we're not dealing with big, giant financial issues. But $500 will devastate us. That's why we're at the payday loans and get like that $350 to be honest. So
Dave Ramsey says first try to get the $1,000, and once you hit that, make it 3 to 6 months salary. Just for instance, and he's like a lot of this was based on like when everybody was losing jobs, banks was going down, and all these whatever was going down, real estate was crashing. Have 3 to 6 months of salary saved up in case for somehow where you're sick or your spouse is sick, you're able to live your normal life without being paid this or that.
We come up, we're gonna wrap it up with Money Move Sessions. That's Breaking Ground Radio. Y'all don't go nowhere, man. We got that homeboy live tattoo you, new joint just popped out yesterday for Battle.
I just want to serenade you. Tattoo from the front, tattoo from the back. Tattoo with my love at. Tattoo from the front, lick you from the back. Tattoo with my love at. Tattoo with my love. Tattoo with my love, baby. Love, baby. Yeah.
My love, this ain't pity pat. She gon' gas me up and I pay for that. Pretty always act like brats. Now I'm gon' blow this weed, she gon' follow me. Her sex is so good, I shouldn't fuck for free. Tattoo on my wrist, my love is on my sleeve. You feel like you overpaid. Now maybe me the Aquarian king, won't you be my queen? She love me as an artist and no problem. Tell Even day we gon' get on the map. Why must this big dog chase that kitty cat? Pretty tats. Vision in my mind hit you from the back. So behind, touch you from the front. Tattoo with my love every break you ride. Touch you from the front, lick you from the back. My love every break you ride. Tattoo with my love, tattoo with my love, baby. Tattoo with my love, baby. We ain't temporary. Legendary, she like niggas acting scary, like her name is Carrie. Tattoo on my heart, you who I should marry. You'll be my Michelle and I'll be your Barry. She just loving as the needle signs. She's my crazy Courtney and I'm Kurt Cobain. Mural of her brain painted on the wall. Passion's just like Christ, nail you to the wall. You're trusting our greedy with your love, baby, I want it all. I love him all. Slow strokes, you gotta walk before you crawl. Plus this big dog chase that kitty cat. Pretty cat, pretty tats. Visions in my mind hit you from the visions in behind, tattoo from the back, tattoo from the front, tattoo from the back, tattoo with my love every break you ride, tattoo from the front, lick you from the back, tattoo with my love every break you ride. Tattoo with my love, tattoo with my love, baby. Tattoo with my love.
Tattoo from the front, tattoo from the back. Tattoo with my love everywhere you at. Tattoo from the front, lick you from the back. My love everywhere you at. Love, tattoo with my love. Tattoo with my love, baby.
Money Moves segment, and that was the homie Lambo with Tattoo You. You can check out just go onto his Instagram page, and I'm sure the link is in the bio and go check that out. Yeah, I mean, hey, real quick, man, two things before we settle up. Big shout out to the crib back home, the NO, the 504, man. Just finished another successful year of Mardi Gras. Yeah, I mean, this is the only time I really get homesick. But shout out to the homie B back down there, and all the fam and the friends down there, man. I've seen a lot of pictures, seen a lot of video over man. Yeah, it's the only time I really like kind of get stirred up. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, man.
Next year?
I'm trying to go.
No.
I'm trying to go. I'm gonna go.
No, but I specifically want to go. No, so I'm serious. Can we make a financial plan in front of our Money Moves financial strategy?
So what do we got to do to get
divvying it up weeks? Like we need to put 12 and that $12 means $12. Paul told me that one week he was looking for Paul money in the couch cushions. Like, hold on.
Yeah, it's bad.
I was
It's
like,
bad. It's
he was
bad.
like, maybe I should look at myself. And I was like,
Yeah.
perhaps this may be that time of the year where you need to look at yourself.
Me and Paul, man, we're good friends.
Your couch cushions, man. That's hot. You got enough money for Paul and your couch.
Let me tell you something.
Sit on your couch.
Like, that might be a good move. Like, man, keep them couches full.
So I do the laundry, the majority of the laundry in my house, and like my kids, my boyfriend always have steady change, and they put it up, and I put it in this big jar. The other day I like went and got the little coin wrap things.
Oh yeah,
man, $36. Yeah. I'm like, look at my note because I did the laundry and
it's my house. That's how I would have been.
Don't be sad about yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Start checking.
So let me ask Age over there because she was oh there. Don't get up to the mic now. I'll take your name. Don't get up now. Like, your segment ain't what you thought it was just over. Like, I'm just about to chill now. But no, seriously, like what is there anything what do you do money wise without us getting too much in your business about? Is there a savings thing that you do? You know, like do you kind of like, come on girl, we about to rock? Hey.
So I feel like I am very financially responsible, especially having my daughter. I wanted to make sure I was able to provide for us, like she was saying, in times of a crisis. So I didn't open like my first credit card until after college, and I made sure I was real strict. Like they said, you shouldn't use a credit card unless you could pay it back, and I really followed that rule because you start swiping that credit card, that your friends, y'all going out. Yeah, girl, come on. You know you ain't got that money to go. I'm okay. You because I'd rather be able for success than.
I wish she was that smart. The thing, man,
I hear the stories. Like you hear the stories. The people filing bankruptcy and how it stays in your credit.
I've heard the stories too, and I just didn't care. I wish I cared.
I think the difficulty in caring comes because many of your friends and family members are like, why everybody else broke? Everybody else got 12 credit cards. We good. As long as you ain't lit, you still got your outfit, your fresh, your hairdo, yada yada yada. Because you look good to your friends, they look good to you. Y'all feel like, and you know what I'm saying, you're successful because you look a certain way. Your hair is done all the time. That's where my big struggle is. It's like struggle between where my extra money might go to getting my hair done, not even on some like bundle life or nothing, you know, whatever. But that sewing that's once every 3 months, that $90 is still like, shit, do I get my hair done? And I have 2 girls. Do I get their hair done? They don't get sewings, but you know what I'm saying? Like up regularly without looking, you know what I'm saying? Like not banging, just not raggedy. And there have been many a raggedy days and I'm like, do the money to not look raggedy, because how do I know but look raggedy? Go ahead.
Okay, so if we're going to be talking about health and beauty, is essentially where we are with that. So does it brush your hair back in a very professional bun and put some edge control on it and wrap it up, and you can put on a straight in a boardroom? Yes. Yes.
If you got enough to put into a good pony.
Yes.
Now I do. You know what I'm saying? The struggle has not always been this. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing: is if you're putting not so good products in your hair, it breaks your hair down. I have very sensitive hair. Like my hair hits that flat iron, and if it hits that time for that week, it's a wrap. Like breakage, the whole nine. Like I'm very sensitive. So people can do it. I can't do it. So I do a lot of protective styles in bulk, but last over a time. Pick up that $90 or whatever. righteously it's 90 plus the hair, so it's like $150. Over 50, it's only 50. But again, I have two girls, and girls are expensive. You know, just maintaining the hair, not on some putting just they got a deep. That's still $35, and I utilize my friends. I got a million friends on Facebook that are like, "Ooh, I got a $25 special here. I got a $25," and I'm like, "Ooh, that's me, and I sign all that like. And I'm still being cost effective, but it's still money that needs to be spent for our hair to not break off, you know, for me to, you know what I'm saying? And I find that to be a major struggle of mine because it's a necessity, because if I don't spend the money now and I wait your hair done, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, definitely see, you know, what's going to be really picking back off of what we talked about last month is your budget. And making sure that that's in your budget. So if you $50, you know, per month or whatever that cost is, then that budget of the month. And so that may mean that you have to see the Black Panther movie when it comes out because your hair budget took that money, or your young ladies and everybody in the house.
Because for Black people.
Right, I hear it. And none of them are going to put any more money in your pocket. So to be able to look at budget, because we come first, we're paying ourselves first, we're maintaining our own household budget. And management is an investment and it increases your income, then by all means, I'm going to give you a thumbs up on it, right? Jump out there. If you're not a model, if you're not doing something that by increasing your income, then I'm going to say you're going to have to probably teach your girls how to do hair. Y'all going to do each other's hair. You're going to have to think of some other creative ways.
I swear by YouTube.
No, I do.
You got
a little
to.
hair
It takes time.
It just takes a lot of hours.
I will crochet my own head. That'll take $24 compared to paying somebody $100 to do it just from sitting out and watching YouTube. You can learn.
Everybody has a different
YouTube.
skill set. My skill set is a lot different than.
But she just told you she knows how to do it, and so she's going to be able to do it for you cheaper than
Asia,
anybody
that's why I'm
else.
about to come over your house and get you 3 girls and be like, so crochet it up.
And so that leads directly into whether or not we're producers or if we're consumers.
Okay.
Right? And so what she's just told you is that she's not going to be a consumer of health and beauty. She's going to be a producer. She's going to produce her own hairstyle. She's going to be able to watch it, get her own education, and learn how she can actually do that. So she's actually investing in herself, investing in her own skills. And now that she's learned how to do her own crochet on her own hair, now she can do yours and your 3 kids. And now she can even make an income from doing it. So she turned her same, we all have the same beauty problem, right? She turned hers from being a consumer mindset into being a producer mindset because she learned how to be able to invest in it and be able to make a come up from it. And that's what we have to be able to learn how to do.
Okay.
You know, people who are living in that consumer mindset, they are just generally spending money on stuff and things that don't appreciate in value, things that do not give us any money back, things that are not considered an investment.
Okay.
Okay. So if you look around Columbus, you'll notice there's a huge trend in dollar stores.
Mm-hmm.
They're popping up everywhere. Well, not everywhere. They're popping up where they know people got a little bit of extra expendable change because we're consumers and there ain't nothing in there. It's all worth $1, right? So we go and spend all our money on this garbage that ain't going to be worth nothing just because we're just trained to do that. But somebody on the other side of town trained their children to go and open that dollar store in our neighborhood. So someone trained them to be the producer. Right? So there's always a producer, there's always a consumer, there's always a supply, there's always a demand. And so you have to figure out which side you're going to be on it. You know, so this hair example was perfect. That was a perfect example. You know, when it comes
to me, like I really do rationalize it. Like the other day, like my girlfriend does a Tuesday $25 special. It's like a shampoo, condition, flat iron, which you don't know nothing about that stuff. I know you live in a dream with your $8 haircut, whatever. You know your wife is handling that part of the bills.
I see the
you know she is
being warmed up. I see the bundles being bought. I see all of that.
Also,
but I don't. There's no room or place for me to be like, man, why you got? Because I don't. That's not You know what you're doing.
So my life when I get a sew in is I'm like, okay, I know I need human hair. That's a number
key.
one. Number two, okay, unless I'm getting like regular braids, and then you can get synthetic depending on the style. But if I'm getting human hair, you know, it's a bare minimum, sew in, whatever. I'm like, okay, like my hairstylist will be like, oh, you need to go get Goddess or Diva. I'll price Goddess or Diva. It's like $60, $70 a bag. I don't have $60 a bag when I know I need 2 bags. So I'm like, okay, I can't get that. What else is on that line? So they'll say, oh, Goddess makes this line as well. And it'll be like, okay, it's $25 a bag, which back in the day didn't used to be bad. So you get your little $25 bag. Okay, you get your 2 bags of hair. You go get your hair done, yada, yada. 2 weeks later, it's naps and more naps. Tangles and raggedy, and you look like shit, and you feel bad about yourself, and you're ugly. Like,
help me. I don't know how we got here.
So then I'm trying to
I was about to say, we done went from money moves to hair bundles. Trust me, I was thinking the same thing. So I'm with you.
Y'all getting $700
I'm
hair
with you.
or whatever. I'm just trying to get $30 hair, and I'm struggling. I'm trying to finance it so that I can include all 3 of us. It's a necessity because I'm a professional and I have a real job, and I can't go to work looking crazy as hell.
You gotta use your resources. You gotta catch the bundles when it has 3 bundles sell for $150 compared to trying to buy that $500 weave.
I would never. That to me is insane. Like I wouldn't even never think about that.
Okay, so
just get a fade. And then go get your $8 haircut with Swamp.
Hey, well, it's $20 now. It was $8 going up. It's $20 now. But no, so
like a boy. No.
One key fact to lead with, Nicole, real quick.
She don't love me. She said,
one thing, because all of the points you made were very valid. So the one keynote to leave with is what you would say.
Stop it. We get talked about.
My number one
I told you my
thing
kids
would be all women that have hair issues get a fade.
That's not the weave on point.
And the second one. I like that one.
No. Just the number one thing, guys, is that we got to be smart about our money, and we have to be in control of where all of our dollars go instead of allowing someone else to control that. And the sooner that we, get a handle on it, we're going to be in a much better position because other people are doing it well, and that's how they know how to come out. So we just need to change side. We just need to get on the other side and learn how to be able to make money ourselves and be able to keep our own money so that we can be financially straight.
Word.
Honestly, because it's not about the amount of money that you make. This is not about a low income. Because we consume too much, and so we can't keep our money. We give it to other people, and they're keeping it all. So.
No doubt. Shout out to Miss Nicole Simpson, man. Definitely appreciate everything you always tell us with the money, man. We need it. We need the advice, and we are thankful that you have come back. No. You did your bundle. You did your bundle. You did the bundle. We good. No, I'll never have one. And shout out to Asia Welch, man. We are going to, because my 5-year-old I think would really love your program. So we will talk so I can bring her.
Yes, please.
And we're gonna have a good time and dance.
Yes.
Real quick.
You can do it too. You could come do it.
I'm rocking. I'm rocking. Don't worry.
I have a dad that comes in and participates.
Good.
I do have a dad, so you're
good. I will.
You even want to think about changing the name.
I did because I didn't know if that scared people away, so I just put it on my promotions like that.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, with you being, you said this is your first year or second year?
This is my second season.
Second season, okay. But I mean, that's what the whole 1 to 4 year business thing that I keep hearing. You got plenty of time to change all of that. So I mean, like you said, it's all about trial and error. or at. It's all about trial and error. So we applaud what you're doing. We will be out there, man. That's all. She know us now.
I'm so proud of
She know us now.
Right. No,
Yeah. We family now. We gonna be bugging the hell out of you for now.
I didn't even know they was crazy, but like no, like we are very impressed. I am
too. No,
I am too.
I am too. I am too.
I did have my baby young. And I thought about what I wanted to be as a mom, and I wanted to finish school and all that, but I didn't necessarily think like I need to own a business. I need to like incorporate her into what I'm doing. That's so brilliant. That is so brilliant. Good job.
Definitely good job. Shout out to our photographer, Whitney Chanel. Shout out to All Day. New show. New show next month, March 4th, 7th.
March 7th.
Table for one.
It's
going down. Yes, Whitney Chanel all day in the building. All day.
All day.
All day 24/7.
All day 24/7.
All day, aka 24/7.
I'm so excited for you guys.
AKA 24/7, AKA 365, AKA don't stop, AKA won't stop, can't stop. You know what I mean? Right. You know, the whole 9 yards. The whole 9 yards. Hey, listen, we will be back next week. Eddie B is in the building. Do we have somebody else?
Just gotta wear a bun, like shave it off, wear a fade.
Next week?
You're working on that.
Okay, so Annie B next week. We got Annie B next week. If you remember Annie B, she was a guest co-host on our show when Tiffany was out. Now she's gonna be back as an official guest. And I do have I really want to get
things too. I'm excited about
well, you know why? Because now that she's had the baby and she's back at it, she's really going headstrong. She is. And I'm and I'm glad she's on our team.
A lot of times about doing something together, and I have just kind of been like, okay, what do you want to do? But like not really had a plan. And now I figure out, I think, how I'm out to incorporate her into my plan. Man, I'm getting a lot of inspiration. I don't get my life together. Everybody around me is like, it's getting younger and younger and doper. Stop. I'm not doing that right now. I'm not doing that right now.
All right, so next week, man, we'll holler at y'all. We'll see y'all next week, man. Y'all stay blessed. Don't drink and drive during the weekend, man. Stay safe, party up.
On the weekend, so
I say don't on the weekend. Don't drink and drive during the whole week.
Don't drink it at all. Don't drink and drive at all.
We out, man.
No
we'll see y'all later.
And drinks.